Thank you for joining us on such short notice. I'm joined by Chief of Police, first of all, I'm Kevin Donahue, Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice, and I'm joined by Chief of Police Peter Newsham, Ward 6 Council Member Charles Allen, and members of the Metropolitan Police Department. We are here to announce an arrest in the July 10th shooting that resulted in the wounding of a 1-year-old child on the 1300 block of I Street Northeast. I will let Chief Newsham provide details in this case. But on behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, I want to thank the Metropolitan Police Department for their hard work and diligence in identifying and arresting the individuals responsible for this shooting. We are incredibly thankful that the child in this case is recovering at home with family. This shooting showed a reckless disregard for the lives of our community members. I want to thank our residents for the invaluable assistance they provided to the MPD officers who are working to close this case. Our residents will not tolerate being endangered by reckless individuals who disrespect our communities, especially our most vulnerable residents, our children, through the use of illegal guns. Today's arrest helps us bring justice to the victims of this crime. I'd like to ask Councilmember Charles Allen to say a few words, then have Chief Newsham provide details on this case, and then he'll open for questions.
Thank you, Kevin. First off, I just want to give my thanks to MPD. When I got to the scene that night, Chief Newsham was already there with Commander Kane and with all of our officers from the 1st District and across MPD. And Chief, I think you said that night that this shooting was reprehensible, and he couldn't be more right. Any shooting in our neighborhood is unacceptable, and we should not be able to tolerate that at all, but especially when a young child, when a 1-year-old is injured, it is reprehensible. So I am very grateful and I am thankful for the work of MPD to make today's arrest, to get more information out. Also very grateful for the public and helping provide tips and information and helping share that with MPD so they can take their action. Fortunately, the 1-year-old is home and is with their family and is recovering well, but at no point should a 1-year-old ever have to be headed off to the hospital for this. So I'm glad of MPD's action, very grateful for their hard work, and look forward to the information the Chief's going to be able to help share about the ongoing case with us. Thank you very much.
All right, good morning. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Donahue. Thank you, Councilmember Allen. I also have Commander Leslie Parsons from our Criminal Investigations Division and Commander Morgan Kane from the 1st District who are here with me today. So on Monday, July 10th at about 9 p.m., members of the 1st District went to the alley in the rear of the 1300 block of I Street Northeast for the sound of gunshots. When they got on the scene, they found a 13-month-old child suffering from gunshot wounds. The male, the small boy, was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. I want to mention the fact that DC Fire and EMS was there almost immediately to provide care to the young boy. We released a video in this case to the public. Members of the Metropolitan Police Department worked tirelessly. Thanks to the assistance of the community and thanks to the detective work, I'm very pleased to announce that we have made one arrest in the case early this morning, pursuant to a DC Superior Court arrest warrant. Members of the Capital Area Regional Fugitive Task Force arrested 39-year-old Derrick Damon Watson of Northeast DC. The arrest was made in Southeast Washington, DC. Watson is charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and unlawful possession of a firearm. But we still need the public's assistance in this case. We have an additional arrest warrant for a 27-year-old Saheed Washington Sulu of Southeast DC. We will be handing out these flyers with a photograph of this wanted suspect. We need the public's help in helping us find this gentleman and bringing him into custody. We're also asking the community to continue to look at the video that we provided to assist us in identifying the 3rd suspect in this case. It is our belief that all 3 of these men were involved in some kind of a dispute where they resorted to firearms. There was more than one child that was in the area as these grown men were firing weapons at each other in our community. So I'm asking the public to please take a second look at that video. We will be releasing an updated version of the video that just shows the one person that we're continuing to try to identify. Lastly, I'd like to thank Detective David Gargak, who was the lead detective in this case, for all of his work. And I also want to encourage anybody who has any information to give us a call on 202-727-9099, or you can text us on 50411. Does anybody have any questions?
Chief, when something like that happens in our community, what does it do to that neighborhood? What does it do to our city?
You know, I had an opportunity to go over there, and, you know, I got to tell you, it's a great community over there. People were very helpful, very friendly. It's very upsetting, you know what I mean? They were out there on a typical Monday summer evening. Young kids were out there. They were enjoying the evening out in the courtyard. And you had 3 grown men that decided to settle a dispute with firearms, with no regard for the fact that there were young kids in the area. You know, that kid is going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. We're very thankful that the injury was non-life threatening. But that's, you know, that's just something, and that's why I got to say the community has been great in this case, giving us information. I think everybody who lives there wants to make sure that the folks that are responsible for this are brought into custody.
Chief Newsham, Jim McCray with ABC 7 News here. What can you tell us about the second suspect you're looking for?
All we have is his identifiers. We have his name, you know, and his age. We will provide a photograph. I'm sure people have seen him out and about, people who know him. I'm pretty sure that anybody who associates with this guy probably feels very uncomfortable with the fact that he's responsible for injuring a 1-year-old boy in our community, and I'm hopeful that those folks will give us information to his location, or he can turn himself in and, you know, take some kind of accountability for his actions.
And do you know anything about Jeremiah, about the boy? How's he doing? Have you spoken to the family?
Yeah, I have. I went over and saw he's a great little kid, good-looking kid. You know, felt bad for the little guy. He's a tough guy. I saw him shortly after the incident. He was already up and around, so he was back in business pretty quickly.
Chief,
Anybody else?
Is it clear which suspect the bullet that hit the 1-year-old actually came from?
You know, that's really unimportant, which gun hit, or which bullet hit the child. We had grown men, like I said earlier, in a courtyard in our community where people were trying to enjoy the peaceful quiet of a summer evening, and they resorted to firearms. So each of them, in my opinion, is equally responsible for the fact that that little boy got injured as seriously as he did.
Tie any of this to gang activity or any other criminal activity because of that fight?
There's nothing right now to suggest this is any way gang related. Yeah.
Chief,
All right.
in general, summer is usually pretty tough in terms of crime in this city. How would you compare violent crime this summer versus previous years?
You know, we're not even halfway through the summer right now. As you know, we have a summer crime initiative that's been very successful to this point, driving down crime in our community. The members of the Metropolitan Police Department are out there every single day. We put out a press release every week getting these illegal firearms out of our community. I think we're having an impact. I think the crime numbers would suggest that, and we're just hopeful if we continue to roll up our sleeves and do the work that the crime will keep going in that direction. And we shouldn't have a community where guns are discharged at any neighborhood at any time, not in Washington, D.C.
Chief,
So.
it wasn't long ago that Deputy Mayor Donahue put out a tweet that showed that you had crime down during the last year significantly in almost every category. What is the driving reason behind that?
You know, there's a whole bunch of reasons why crime goes down. Crime is not an easy issue to solve. I think I have to attribute the way that the mayor has really kind of held our feet to the fire as agencies, directors, because crime encompasses a whole bunch of things. It encompasses, you know, affordable housing for folks, education, substance abuse issues, mental health issues. All of those things can contribute to violent crime in our communities. And each of the directors that's responsible for those particular things, and myself as the chief of police, is being held accountable to make sure that we're moving the crime in the right direction. And I think we're having a lot of success here in the city. All right, so thank you all very much. Thank you.
Very much.